All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another round of Coffee and Questions. What's today's topic? Well, it's kind of like your quick deal or a good deal for the week, and it's this welding magnet head. Now, if you look in the picture way up in the upper left-hand corner, you're going to see that this thing's magnetized and it'll stick to the steel. And that copper point right here next to me, I mean, it comes down, it touches the metal, creates the ground. And if you want, you can hardwire it right above my head through that copper clamp there around that bolt. We didn't do that. Out at the club, one of the guys got one. I decided, hey, let's demo it, and I'd get a feel for whether or not I wanted to do a video on it. It actually works really well. I mean, it's really kind of a cool little thing to keep, with your welding tools, and it's only $8 and it ships prime. Now, you can take the clamp, your grounding clamp, and clamp it to that threaded that threaded bolt there and down onto the nut. I just took the clamp, clamped it over onto the bolt. I suppose it also, touched part of the threaded, copper, but it worked great. Now, there's a few things that you need to know. We did this in a past video. So the first thing I do is I try, if I can do it, to get my surface clean. I use a 4.5-inch angle grinder flap wheel. I touch the metal with it. I get it real clean. Then put that magnet down on top of it. And then if I can do the same thing where that copper point comes down and touches the metal, I do that also. Now, if you can't, you can kind of wiggle this back and forth and scratch that copper like into the metal to get a good ground. But if you can, I would tell you go ahead and do it that way. It will improve the grounding, and always make sure wherever the grounding is, it's going from the top down. That's the reason why you have this copper clamp there. But I mean, even if you're going to use those like alligator jaw clamps that come on most of them, and you attach it to those two, metal bolts right here. I mean, just make sure you're doing it from the top down. That also helps a little bit. So all these things help a little bit, clean metal, it helps to get the cosmoline and the gunk off of it, or the scale or whatever. And that gives you better ground, therefore better welding. So those are just a couple of quick tips. So overall, what do I think of this? For $8, it's worth having. I went ahead and I ordered one after, getting an opportunity to play around with it. I don't think you can go wrong with it. Now, let me show you a couple other pictures, make a couple of comments, and we'll wrap up the quick tip of the week. Okay, so in this picture here, you get an idea of how strong this magnet is. Now, I didn't test it to that degree, but yes, it is damn strong. It's a really good, you touch that to metal, bam, I mean, it sticks pretty darn hard. So that's a good point here. Let me show you a couple more pictures. All right, so in this picture, it shows you what that threaded bolt looks like. The picture here to the left is showing you, the bottom part of the actual little clamp itself. And again, like I said, you can hardwire it if that's what you want. They give you that little fixture up here that you see to be able to do that. Now, I chose not to do that. I like having the clamp on my welder. But like I said, you can simply clamp it to the bolts on here, and you've got your ground. Okay, so here's a picture showing you what I was trying to say earlier about hardwiring it over, and it, blew it up, and it shows you, the little clamping device that goes in between, the two bolts. But I never did it that way. I didn't even test it out that way. I just took, like I said, that alligator clamp and clamped it. But this gives you a close-up of what we were talking about. Okay, so in this picture, you see it's on a piece of round pipe. Now, that's another reason why I went ahead and bought it after looking through a lot of the images. And if you think about welding two pieces of round pipe together, if you don't have like a welding table or something like that and you're kind of stuck, that clamp is going to be kind of a son of a gun to try to figure out a way to clamp and create that ground. But not with this, because it's magnetized. You clean a spot, put it on there, make sure that tip's touching down into it, and you're good to go for any kind of welding. So like I said, very handy to have. Okay, so this is just another picture showing you that it's hardwired in between, those two nuts. Like I said, actually, this is done a much better way than just the bare wires coming over like you saw in the previous picture. But you can get the accessories any big box or auto supply store or whatever if you choose to go ahead and do it this way, or just wire it, straight in between these two bolts. But like I said, I didn't see the need. I just took the clamps, clamped it on there, works beautifully. All right, quick tip of the day, and let me show you one other thing, and we'll end this. Okay, so come back around here to the original ad. You can hit the pause key, read a little bit about it. I would tell you, just click on the link below. It always supports the channel a little bit. I make a small commission. I feed my stray animals, but this is just your quick tip of the week. I think it's a handy tool. You should consider buying it if you do any kind of welding, arc welding, MIG, TIG, or anything else. I think you might find this really handy to use. Anyway, I'm the Home Handyman. I hope you click subscribe, keep following me, and if you know something better, drop it in the comment below. Otherwise, I'll see you folks in the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.